exploring your stories and hot topics. Welcome back to the Maggie Linton Show.
On Monday, a Black History Month special as we salute the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. We hope you'll be able to join us then. But we continue right now with a couple I actually met in Miami during the Miami Book Fair. But they're live here, and they are making a difference in the lives of many through their activism and also through their books. Craig and Sharon Butts are co-founders of Cherry Moon Publishing and authors of numerous books, including Sharon's The Amani Guard and Pieces of Mama, and Craig's My Soul Says. Welcome, both of you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank
this is
you.
really nice little treat having you come up here from Georgia. So wonderful. Well, we decided we're going to start talking. I want to talk about you first because you combined your love of activism and also writing to form a great couple.
Thank you.
Wow, that's interesting. I never thought I'll have to write that down and take it home with us.
Yeah, you really did. Because you're a teacher
Yes.
and you came through IT.
Yes, I run an IT company,
And
yes.
so talk about how you found each other.
Okay.
Well, we found each other at a Black History, not a Black History, it was a Black Arts Festival in Denver, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My daughter and I had a booth at the Denver Black Arts Festival. She was gone. It was late in the day, and I'm running the booth. She has artwork and clothing that she paint on and things like that. And I had all of the Cherry Moon books and things there. And he came up and started talking. At the time, he was running an e-zine.
I was doing the e-zine. It was called Taking the Journey on Relationships. I mean, I just do about anything and everything you can really think about. And basically, I was actually up there doing a contract for the 2010 census. And so I basically was going to that particular fair. And actually, I was leaving because I was bored. And I walked down this nice little path. And all of a sudden, I saw her sitting there. I go, ooh, she looks interesting. I think I'm going to talk to her. And it kind of started from there, didn't it?
Yeah, he walked over and started talking and said, you know, he was started talking about his e-zine and wanting writers and things like that. And I'm like, I write fiction, but it would be interesting to try writing nonfiction for a change. And we stood there and talked for probably an hour.
Yeah, and we kind of got lost in the moment.
we
And
did.
and the couples, the people next door in the tent,
Yeah.
they kept on looking at us while we were talking. And I think they looked at us in such a way as if we've been knowing each other for years, the
Yeah.
way we were talking. You remember that?
I do, and we had just laid eyes on each other
Exactly.
that one time.
Well, the reason why I wanted you to talk about it, because you had kind of told me about it when I met you, was, you know, it's Valentine's. Actually, tomorrow will be Valentine's.
Okay.
And so many people out there are looking for love. And they don't know that just putting it out there and staying out of your way will sometimes bring that love to you. And that's what you did. Like you said, you were there with your daughter. You were there actually technically working. And there was something that brought you together.
I think on that point, on the relationship side, I think one of the things that drew us, we had a commonality when it came to love of literature and in the love of, in turn, exploration that was behind it. Because I was doing, taking the journey, but at the same time, I also had this little publishing company called Grassroots Publishing. I was actually going to young people who, in turn, do rap, put it on a piece of paper because I got it from my son. I was going to have them publish it. Yeah. And she had her own publishing company. And that's how we kind of, in turn, find out a little bit. We had some things in common. I think commonality, many times in a relationship, is very, very important. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just started from there. You know, the other thing is when you're looking for someone, one of the best things to do is to go places that you enjoy. Because we both ended up at a place where we had something that we were enjoying. I enjoyed the writing. I enjoyed the art scene. I enjoyed all of that. And so did he. And so getting outside the house and getting to a place where, you know, other people who have the same things that they like, we just kind of bumped into each other.
Yeah. Exactly. In fact, come to think of it, she tells me all the time, we actually been, you notice now, we've been talking ever since. I think we talked to each other, even though I was on the road doing a lot of time at school. We talked every day to each other.
Day.
Yeah, every day.
We would talk when I was on the way to work and he was on the way to work, and when I got off from work and he got off from work, we would talk again, and every single day we talked.
There you go. Keep talking. And we're going to talk now about, Sharon, let's start with your books.
Okay.
Because one of them is very personal, Pieces of Mama.
Yeah.
And it really is, it's a memoir for you, but it's a salute to your mother.
It is. My mother had dementia. And one of the things that happened, excuse me, was we didn't know.
Go ahead, clear your throat.
Excuse me. This new weather.
Yeah, they came from Georgia, folks. It's a lot warmer down there.
It was 48 degrees right now.
But it's not the same kind of cold.
Yes, I hear you.
But my sister and I had not known anyone who had gone through that. So we were kind of dealing with dementia step by step by step as we found out about it. Once she was diagnosed, it was kind of like, okay, well, that kind of explains the repetition in the conversation and things like that. And so we were able to roll with it. Well, when she passed away in 2008, she had been dealing with dementia and memory loss and slipping back further and further for about 10 years or so. And the grieving process is hard. And I had gone through a couple of years of still grieving, and still February 25th is a day I will never forget, because that was the day she passed away. And that was a day that we sort of, as I say in the book, she left me behind for the last time.
Right. But your book is really very much a guide
It
for
is.
families
Yes.
who are there and dealing with it and coping, and to make the road a little easier for them.
Exactly.
And before you go on, I wanted to attest to that, because one of the blessings that this book, and she did personally, is that my mom also had Alzheimer's, and she passed away on it. And I would tell you, as a male, my wife, or Sharon over there, helped me go through that stage, the stage of, Mom, you've been my mom. Now you're acting like I'm your father. And in turn, you're telling me stuff that doesn't make any sense. Would you please start remembering? And that kind of egoless men, it really frustrated.
Yes.
Sharon really helped me out. You can't do that. It's not going to work. You got to just let them be where they are and go with it. And that's pretty much I did. And I'm going to tell the story that you get back to. I remember one time I called my mom and I said, Mom, do you remember when you put me out in the backyard and dressed me up like a lamb? And I said, bah. My mom laughed and said, really? That really wasn't a nice thing for me to do. But that really was one of those times that helped me be able to understand that this is where they are, and it's not necessarily going to change, and you really got to be able to go with it and love them where they're at.
Yeah.
All right, listen, I got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to have more with Sharon and Craig Butts. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Maggie Linton Show on Sirius XM Urban View. We'll be right back. Talking about everyday life, a woman that relates to you. Welcome back to the Maggie Linton Show on Sirius XM Urban View.
Well, welcome back. We continue with community activists and, of course, relationship counselors, Craig and Sharon Butts. They're co-founders of Cherry Moon Publishing and authors also. We were talking about Sharon's book, which is Pieces of Mama. You also write a little sci-fi and fantasy, too.
I do. I write a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I've got children's stories and you name it, I do it. But yeah, the sci-fi, that was my very first book that I wrote. And it was really funny because my son came to me and he was about, I guess he was about 17. And he says, Mom, I want to draw a comic. He's an artist. I want to draw a comic, and I need you to write the story for me. And I thought, oh, this is great. Mother-son collaboration. It's going to be wonderful. And I said, okay. I said, what do you want it to be about? He says, I don't know. I don't care. You just write the story and I'll draw the... I was like, okay, great. And I started writing, and about 5 or 6 days later, I was finishing up chapter 5. It was not going to be a comic. It was just way too long at that point. And so I had to call him and say, we got to try something else.
Yeah.
So he ended up doing the cover for it.
And it is the Amani Guard, Keepers of Peace.
Yes.
And Craig, you're
Yes.
doing a little writing too. My Soul Says.
Yes.
Written under an AKA.
Oh, okay. She knows.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Aymar, yes. Swahili for strong and assertive. Yes.
Where did this story for this, Kim?
It came out of my personal life. I as I take pictures too, as a photo artist and as I write, I come out of the time and period as an African American where we pretty much write what we see, and in turn let you from there make those kind of decisions. I came up as a fatherless son, and out of coming up as a fatherless son, a lot of my frustrations and a lot of my problems as a fatherless son, especially through my own son, I started to just start doing some writing and putting it down, and pretty soon it became almost like a diary. And I remember one time my son picked that up and read it, and he told me personally, he said, Dad, now I seem to understand you better. Now I seem to in turn understand you and some of the crazy things sometimes you do. And I said, what do you mean? He said, because some of the things I read in your at this time, it just a whole bunch of stacks of piece of papers.
Yeah. Hadn't turned into the memoir
exactly,
yet. Yeah.
Exactly. It was a journal. And he said, because I think the same way. I mean, I have the same kind of thoughts. And that was the first time I really made a connection with my son. And I understood as a fatherless son, but also I was a fatherless father. You see, fatherless sons, when they have kids, they become fatherless fathers. So they don't necessarily have the same memory. And I didn't have the same kind of experience because I didn't really have that around.
You were missing some of the skills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know that my son and some of his idea of being a father, he got through TV, he got through friends, he got through other particular of his environment. He was in turn saying to himself, well, this man doesn't seem to act like those other kind of fathers, at least from what he can see. So, there must be something different about it. And then finding out, no, some of the things that he says, some of the things he thinks, I think the same thing too.
That's great. We're talking about the publishing, but you all are so active in your community, Savannah and Richmond Hills, that of Georgia, that you also are very active within the community.
Yes.
And let's talk about that, because you listen, so you know how often I'm talking about how important stepping in and being part of that community and mentorship is. So begin with, in particular, Unity in the Community.
Exactly.
Unity in the Community is an organization that we founded about 3 years ago.
2013, to be exact. That's when we did our first Unity in the Park, Jazz and Unity in the Park Festival at JFK.
JF Gregory.
JF Gregory, yes.
Park.
I always say JFK. Yes.
And it is a community give-back organization. So everything we do is with the intent or the understanding that we give back to the community in some way. Whenever we have events, we also have entertainment that, kind of lightens whatever burdens you may have. But at the same time, we have people there who offer services like United Way representatives. We have pregnancy prevention organizations there. We have Drug Free Coalition, just different organizations. If, you may come out and you may have a good time, but when you go back home, you still may be wondering where you're going to get your rent paid.
We kind of take what you call a holistic approach is what she's talking about. We kind of take with the entertainment that in turn brings people out, with the nonprofit organizations who are there to help people, and then at the same time we also have vendors. So we give vendors a chance to come out and sell their wares. We call it like a holistic approach. We basically say we do fun, family, free events. And in fact, on that particular note, we actually have the opportunity. We've been contracted through the city of Savannah to actually start running our events from April to December at River Street. If anybody knows about Savannah, River Street is the place to go for tourism. So we're really, we're really excited about this for this particular opportunity. You got quite a few vendors across the country who are kind of looking at this, and we're still looking for more vendors and people who would like to be there and be part of that.
And one of the exciting things about being able to work with vendors is the fact that a lot of people do not have that opportunity, especially African Americans who make beautiful jewelry, make all kinds of different things. Clothing, exactly. But they don't have a
lot
way.
of healthcare products and lotions and soaps and things like that. Yeah.
Hair care. But they don't have a place to take it, to sell it, or to let people know that they even have this ability to do that. Or at our venues, there's that marketplace.
Exactly. In fact, we were talking to someone on the phone who belongs to a church. Actually, she's a pastor of a church with her husband. She was talking about the young people there need to understand that, hey, you don't necessarily have to work for someone. You can actually start your own business.
Entrepreneurship.
Exactly, and which I believe very strongly. But I do what you call social entrepreneurship, but to be honest with you. But she was saying that, hey, this is a way that there's a marketplace now being provided so that their product or service that they create, they can actually take into a marketplace and actually in turn make it happen and see that being bought or sold. So we're really excited about this opportunity.
Yeah. And so if people need to know more about that, do they just go to the Unity and Community
website? Yes, www.unityinthecommunity. And
that's the letter N.
Just the letter N. I was going to say, is he going to say that? But he didn't. So I'm going to say it at the end again. But it's Unity in, just the letter N, thecommunity.org.
Exactly.
And they can sign up. But so you're going to be doing it every month?
Every month. Every third Saturday every month. The website talks about it. In fact, you have a way you can actually pull down your applications, whether it's a food, whether it is a snack, whether it's a full menu. The nonprofits have the opportunity to come. They're free of charge. We don't charge the nonprofits. So they can come and in turn give their information out to people there if they want to, including the churches that come out. And hopefully we'll bring the choirs and stuff to do their thing when it comes to entertainment. Yeah. So you'll find all the information on our website.
That is fantastic.
And one of the other things, young people are just where my heart lie, of course, teaching and everything. But one of the things that Imar came up with that I think is just really fabulous is we're going to try to have, we're going to have a Shark Tank for young people. So if they come up with
Shark Tank, you mean as in the business idea series? Yes.
Yes. Exactly.
Entrepreneurship, not really a Shark Tank.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Although
but that's great to learn about presenting.
Exactly. And they'll get the opportunity to work with the vendor to see how you go about putting your product together and selling it to people and making people interested in it and getting a budget together and all that. And so it's really exciting.
In fact, we got the idea outside of Shark Tank because if they win after doing a pitch, and be in front of a couple of our vendors and they win a pitch, we're going to give them $500 and then in turn help them actually bring the product or the service right to the marketplace there. But we got the idea off a gentleman who you were interviewing about
John Hope Bryant.
You got it.
Operation
you
Hope.
Got it. You got it. And I need to get some information. I want to get a hold of him because I like to bring him down to this event. His idea really was the catalyst outside of the fact I watch Shark Tank all the time. It really was the catalyst on that.
Yeah, he's I just went to their Operation Hope Forum in Atlanta just last month, and it was amazing.
Wow.
And they had 4 young kids there that presented their work, and the the entrepreneurs who were there, who are now CEOs of major companies, wound up giving all of them $1,000, and the one that actually won got $2,000.
Isn't that something?
Wow. To encourage it, because sometimes, you say $1,000, but even $500 can make the difference between success and failure for so many people.
Exactly.
And that's what's so important.
Yes.
Well, and you all are obviously doing, and we got to talk very quickly about Sankofa.
Oh, yes. Sankofa Photography. That is a very new venture that we have. And it's Imar's photography. He is a really, really wonderful photographer, and he's just finding that out himself. And that's the one thing, a lot of times we don't realize that as adults, we don't we haven't always made it to where
she
we
has
need
a lot
to go.
do with it. She's playing it now. She's the one that actually told me that in turn you photography, I think in front of people they would really love it. And I've been taking pictures for a long time. I started in the boys club doing the kind of photography thing because some guys say you need to do something in life. And so I basically do it as a hobby. I never thought that in turn people take a look at it, they would like it. And so we have people who have met us who were like professionals in the world. They're saying, you have a good eye. I'm going, oh, really?
So good that
Exactly.
he is about when the rally against police violence was here in December. He came up and he said he took pictures. He did not. He took photographs. There's going to be a gallery exhibit starting in March in Savannah of his experience there.
There you go, folks. You can do it. Many thanks to community activists Craig and Amara and Sharon Butts,
Actually,
co-founders of Cherry Moon Publishings and also authors. All information on their numerous websites, including cherrymoonpublishing.net, Unity in, and that's just the letter N, unityinthecommunity.org, and Sankofa, and that's SANKOFA photography.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. You guys, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for
For
having
giving
Thank
us
you very
something
much.
really special and uplifting.
Always enjoy
Giving
you
folks
anyway.
a lot of hope. Monday, a Black History Month special as we salute the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. You've been listening to The Maggie Linton Show.